started the show. Already very popular. A lot of you have gone ahead and started shopping because you know you're gonna be doing, you do a lot of cooking, especially this time of year, you crank it up and you're saying, what I need are really great knives. I need sharp knives, and not just the first time I pull them out of the box. I need sharp knives every time I pick up a knife. And that's where this set from Zwilling J.A. Henckels comes in. You're getting 7 pieces in this set with the self-sharpening knife block that they are stored in. You're going to get the paring knife, the serrated knife, the utility knife. You get a Hollowedge Santoku knife, a chef's knife. You even get kitchen shears. And you decide, do you want them in black, or do you want them in white, or in red? The shipping, like I said, is free. The flex pay is $17.99. Over 4,300 of these have already been ordered. John Florell is joining us. John, so great to have you as always.
Thank you, thank you. You know, Zwilling Henckels has made an incredible set of knives here. It's not only the same quality stainless steel knives that you're used to from Henckels. This beautiful ashwood block has a stainless steel cap built over the top of it. It looks great, it looks amazing. But the secret is what's inside that cap. And I'm gonna kind of point this towards the camera so you guys can see this. When I take the knife out of here, all right, I'm gonna slide it out. You'll see inside, we built in sharpening stones inside the knife block. So every time you put the knife away, and then take it back out again, it sharpens itself. One of the biggest complaints about kitchen knives, the biggest complaint is my knives are dull.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because let's face it, all new knives are sharp when you first buy them.
Right.
And this one's no exception. I mean, you just touch it and it's gonna cut it. It's like a razor blade on a handle. Wow. And that's the beauty of buying a brand new knife. You know that when you cut something, it's gonna cut, and it's gonna cut beautifully. The problem is when you're cutting things that have turkey bone, ham bone, lamb bone, maybe it's an avocado pit, plates, dishes, cutting boards, these are the things that dull our knives over time. What Zwilling has done has created this knife block with sharpeners built in, so every time you use the knife, you put it away, it's gonna sharpen itself, and not just sharpen it like, you know those sharpening the sticks that come in some knife blocks where you have to know the right angle and pretty much know how to use it. You don't have to worry about that because these will sharpen your kitchen knives, this set of cutlery, to 95% of its original factory sharpness.
Wow.
That means that today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, every single time you pick up this knife, it's gonna cut like the very first time you used it.
Oh my gosh.
And it doesn't matter how many times you use a knife, what you use it on, you're gonna have that razor sharp blade.
Yes.
Again, all you do is wipe it off, put it back in the knife block, and it sharpens itself to 95% of its original sharpness.
This is fantastic. You can even hear it when he pulls it out. You can hear it because it sharpens going in and it sharpens coming out. Think about it, knives have one job, and that's to cut. And if your knives are not cutting, they're not doing their job.
And the beautiful thing about this set is that it's giving you all of the most popular pieces of cutlery. Now, ask anybody about Zwilling Henckels, they'll tell you we are the gold standard in kitchen cutlery. We've been making kitchen cutlery since 1731. That's 300 years of cutlery experience that goes into building this set.
Yes.
Handcrafted, these things are beautiful from tip to toe. I want to point out too, on our knives, they're all full tang. So that means the blade goes, just one piece of steel that goes all the way through the handle, and look at this teardrop on the end, perfectly balances in your hand. So that's why chefs love it, because you can use these all day long and never have to worry about, listen, you saw that chef's knife earlier. This is our 8-inch chef's knife, the one I just did. I cut that pineapple with and the avocado, and look at this. You can still slice a tomato so thin. At the price of tomatoes these days, you can make one tomato last all winter. I mean, slice it so thin, and you get that precision edge. Look at that, beautiful each and every time. Now that's the chef's knife. The Santoku knife has those little aerations in it, in the blade. That's there to allow food not to stick to the blade. So as you're chopping, slicing, dicing, peeling, paring, whatever it is that you're doing with your knives, the food won't stick to it, so you don't have to worry about you know, getting things out of the way. It makes it so much easier to use. You're gonna love it for prep work, for salads, for chopping stew meat, anything at all. And I love this too, because again, with this blade, now this one's different than the chef's knife. Our chef's knife has a 15-degree sharpening angle. Our Santoku knife is set at 11 degrees. And again, every time you put this away, it's not like you're getting 70% or 80% of its sharpness,
Right.
95% of its original factory sharpness. So it's gonna stay razor sharp. And with all the knives in the set, that 8-inch chef's knife, the 7-inch Santoku knife, I love this one. This is the slicer. It's also, this one's great for, well, all kinds of prep work. It's a utility knife, but here, just to show you how sharp these are, it's like I don't even move the knife. It just slices beautifully, paper thin slices. I'm holding up a bell pepper in midair and it's slicing it perfectly. I mean, paper thin slices like that. In midair.
Wow,
Are you kidding me?
yes.
And I'll tell you, you're gonna love this knife too for those jobs like, well, maybe you want a butterfly chicken breast or pork chop. All you do is move it and it cuts. You open it up. Now you can take that crab meat stuffing or any stuffing that you like. Here, I like crab meat stuffing in my pork chops. We're gonna stick this in here and I'll tell you what, you wrap that up, bake that in the oven.
Yeah.
That is that's heaven.
Oh, wow.
Heaven right there.
Well, this is the thing. These are customer picks. So many of you who have these, you already love them. If you don't have them yet, and you recognize when we say, you know, a knife has one job, and that's to cut, and if your knives are not cutting as easily as these are, if you're actually having to put more force, because as we always say, a dull knife is more dangerous than a sharp knife. A sharp knife does the job without you having to put pressure. A dull knife is when you start pressing and then things can kind of slip and go haywire.
Trying to force it through the
Right, trying to force it through. This, with the self-sharpening knife block that's coming with it, sharpens the knives when they go in and when you pull them out every time. Not just once, not just in the beginning, every time. Do you want them in black? Or do you want them in white? Or do you want them in red? They even come, ooh, I can't wait for the salmon, that's my favorite. But they even come with shears. So everything that you see, all of the knives that you see right here come along with, and the shears and the block for less than $90. And this is a company that knows how to make knives.
Well, we do make the gold standard in kitchen cutlery. I mean, here's a whole salmon fillet. I can hold this midair, take the slices, make the steaks that I like. And I mean, of course, you wouldn't do that at home, but I just do that to show you how sharp our knives actually are. Let's use them as a fillet knife. Fillet the skin off of that tuna and then lay it out here and have a knife so sharp that you could do sashimi or slice paper thin slices for bagels and lox. I mean, look at this. Beautiful, beautiful pieces of salmon. The smoked salmon on bagels, it's amazing.